What's up, everybody? Alex here, and welcome to the Dota Underlords Best Builds of the Week, the weekly series where I show you guys top 5 meta builds to help you rank up in Dota Underlords. Now, this week, we're starting with Heartless, Fallen, and Hunters. They are still at the top of the meta. One of the top builds currently going right now. You position your Fallen in a way to really maximize their healing effect on death. You are still running very high impact units like Drow Ranger, Enthrall, and Essex. You can Enthrall and focus fire down an opposing unit, take them over, and do damage to the opposing line. I do recommend, of course, you try and protect Wraith King if you can. First of all, if you finish Fallen 6, that means you're in the top 4. So what you want to do is you're going to want to protect the Wraith King. Note where your opponents are on the board. If you feel like you can get away with running him something like this, then absolutely go ahead. Have him in a centralized location so you can get those zombies. If you do not feel like you can protect him, you're going to want to do something like this. Make sure that he comes late. It can be tricky because he might run around and these guys die and they don't get the zombie effect. But regardless, right, you want to protect your Wraith King. Now, you're right. The reason why this build's so damn good is because not only are you getting the negative Heartless effect, the negative armor from Heartless, you're also getting the negative armor from Enthrall as well, of course, which is super valuable. You're getting the attack rate of the Hunter, which is key because a lot of your core damage dealers, like your Terrorblade, who, by the way, in this build, Terrorblade is one of those units you could theoretically 3-star in a build like this. You're leveling up, you're getting to 7 or 8, you're rolling, so, take an eye out for, Terrorblade 3-star, because you can definitely do it in this build. Moran is a fantastic damage dealer. I've been liking getting the Maelstrom on her to counter all the Shamans I've been seeing, plus her attack rate tends to activate it very often. And of course, whenever you're running Vigilant, I do like the Drow Ranger with the Deso. It's up to you. But at the end of the day, a very, very good build, one that I've had a lot of success with in the current meta. What would a build of the week be without a Shaman build? So this is a Shaman build for Savage, 6 Shaman. This is probably the best variant going of Shaman right now. Definitely a lot of value here. Of course, you're looking to get your Refresher Orb on a Lone Druid absolutely broken. Refresher Orb on Lone Druid might be the best combo in the game. You're also looking to get Necronomicon on Bristleback. Again, a top tier combo. Remember, all these summons are going to be gaining the benefit of the Savage bonus. I do recommend you go either version of an Essex in this build. I do obviously prefer healing support in Essex if you can. Early in the game, if you get Paladin Sword. If you get a Paladin Sword, you can use a Paladin Sword as well to amplify the healing potential of your healing support in Essex. But Enthrall works very well as well, still gaining the benefit from the Savage Alliance, as all summons do get the bonus. Now, this build does suffer late game because sometimes, if you're not able to 3-star into the units, I've been finding some success with chasing 3-stars if you see, little contention on Enchantress and Magnus. The nice thing about this build is you have multiple units at the lower tiers, so if you're hard rolling in the the 3-4 turn, 4-5, and even 6, you are targeting Spirit Breaker, Nature's Prophet, Bristleback, Enchantress, and Magnus. So you're targeting a wide variety of units. It's very likely you'll be able to 3-star at least 1 or 2 of them, so bear that in mind. While this has traditionally been a level build, rolling as well has been some pretty successful as well. But at the end of the day, a very successful build in the current meta, and one that I'm sure you're going to have success with. And for the third build of the week, we're talking about Heartless Hunters. And guys, I know that Heartless Hunters has been a staple in the meta for some time, ever since beta. But the thing about Heartless Hunters is that you always go usually 4 Heartless, 3 Hunters, and a splash of like Brutes or Druids or whatever it might have been at the time. And currently with the new Barricade, there is a lot of value of straight up going 6 Hunters with 4 Heartless. Now, the reason why this build works is because obviously the Barricades are now indestructible. They're getting the damage reduction incoming while they're shooting above it. A lot of value there. But the other side to this is there's a lot of core units that are doing a lot of work. Of course, Drow Ranger being as awesome as Drow Ranger is, really benefiting the DPS here if you can. Now, obviously you want to go damage support and Essex for the Enthrall. You're running Vigilance and a lot of ranged units. They can really focus fire that Enthrall unit. And of course, the damage reduction, the armor reduction on Enthrall stacks with that of Heartless, which really gives you a lot of impact. Medusa is going to be coming in for someone like Anti-Mage. You want Medusa in a damage dealing position here so that the Stone Gaze can do work. You want to have Terrorblade. You can put Terrorblade up here if you want as well. You could, if you really want, you could do something like this. Just bear in mind, you don't want if you find these guys getting focus fired by other Hunters or Vigilants, you don't want these guys taking too much front end damage. So sometimes I find myself doing this just to have it so that the Pudge takes the brunt of the damage. You could even do this. It's important that Terrorblade is protected. I do like this as well because it ensures that the Archer's in this spot as well. But at the end of the day, a very, very good build. The Hunter variant of, 6 Hunters provides a huge DPS boost. And there's a few items you can go here. Obviously, Desolator for the Vigilance is fantastic on Drow. Maelstrom on a fast attacking unit like Mirana is great. And of course, if you're seeing Brawnies or any tanky lineup, Caden's Blade is fantastic as well, especially against Knights and Brawnies. Now, it also is worth saying that Maelstrom is also an amazing item on Medusa. Caden's can easily go on Mirana. So if you're seeing Spirits or anything, not Spirits, sorry, Shamans and stuff like that, remember, Medusa will activate multiple instances of the Maelstrom proc, so it's very, very good to have Maelstrom on Medusa. Skullbasher has a cooldown, whereas Maelstrom does not, so Maelstrom can activate multiple times, whereas Basher will be on a cooldown, so it doesn't really benefit from the multi-shot. But regardless, a very good build, and one that I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with in this current meta. Now, this build's a lot of fun. We're talking about Barricade Mages, and the reason why Barricade Mages have been so fun is, first of all, they're super effective, and secondly, the Barricades are just damn good right now. They're super good being indestructible, and the result of that is you're able to protect these units. Of course, if you're seeing Pudges, you want to make some changes. You don't want the Keeper of the Light to get pulled. You'd rather have CM get pulled, or you can even bait Storm Spirit. So when Storm Spirit gets pulled, he just basically ball lightnings away. But regardless, this is the core lineup here. You are running these core 6 mages. You are going to 4 humans. Now, it's up to you whether or not you actually pick up the mana generation items. I've been picking up the mana regeneration items despite being at 4 humans. Yes, you're talking about 8 mana per second. Yes, you're generally going to be cooldown capped. But in a fight like this where burst damage is everything, I'd rather have the extra 10 mana per second on someone like a Keeper of the Light. Get him to cast right away so that he's activating his 8 or 6 second cooldown immediately, right? You want them to be casting as fast as possible. Luna the same, Puck the same. You always want them casting the moment they can. And of course, I've been wanting to say I really like Radiance on Rubik because of the fact that, he goes invulnerable for several seconds. Obviously, Kunkka being awesome, being a human, and a great stun. At the end of the day, guys, it's a fun build. This build is complete at 7, so, if you happen to 2-star Tide Hunter, throw a Tide Hunter and put the Tide Hunter right here, right? There's so many options that you can run in this build to kind of just fill it out a little bit. But overall, Barricade Mages is a lot of fun. All right, so I'm really excited to talk about this build because this is actually one that I did not necessarily come up with. This was a build that was suggested to me by community members during a live stream on Twitch, and they said, Alex, go to 6 Savage and then get a high value unit. So go to 6 Savage and then get Slark. Right? And the result of this is if you get a Mass Slark and you kind of get to level 7, you hard reroll for Slark, and then basically what happens is you get that 3-star, you get the Mask of Madness, and suddenly Slark is getting the benefit of the Savage bonus and just exponentially increases in DPS as the fight goes on, as he does incredible amount of damage as he is, but then you're adding the Savage effect. So suddenly he's gaining 13 attack damage per hit, and he's out of control, and he's healing for that damage. You could also alternatively go with Spectre. You could even run both if you want. Spectre's another good call because what's going to happen here is Spectre is going to attack really fast under Shadow Dagger, and then what's going to happen is Spectral Dagger. As soon as I said Shadow Dagger, I'm like, it's not Shadow Dagger, Alex. Spectral Dagger, and she's going to attack really fast, and while she's doing that, she's building the stacks of the Savage bonus. So realistically, the goal here is to get to level 7, hard roll for 3 stars, 3-star on tier 3 units like Lycan, Spectre, and Slark, and then absolutely dominate the opposition. You're hard leveling to 7, then rolling from there, guys. Honestly, I played a game with this. I'm going to link it above. It was absolutely fantastic. I demolished the competition. It was such a damn good build. Full credit to the community for coming up with this one and having me try it. And guys, thank you so much for watching. And a very special thank you to all of my wonderful subscribers. Take care, everyone, and have yourselves an absolutely wonderful day.